Hey Wanderers, welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. Today we're going to be talking about the movie sensation
Barbenheimer?
Barbenheimer. I keep forgetting what it's called. I want to call it Oppenbarbie, and my sister yelled at me because I didn't know what it was called. I literally heard it on the news before we went to go see the Barbie movie,
Mhm.
and because I didn't know this was a thing that people were buying a double feature ticket or whatever. And then she was like, "No, it's it's called Barbenheimer." And she was sad that I didn't know what everyone was talking about. But yeah,
I mean, you're on TikTok like a lot.
I am. But I didn't see any Barbenheimer stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw the behind the scenes stuff for Barbie, but I didn't see any of the double feature that I
Okay.
remember. So yeah. And yeah, we went to the day after it came out. My sister, my mom, and I went to Barbie, and Kendra went to Oppenheimer.
Yep. Yep. That's the team I chose.
My sister, she dressed up in this really cute, pink gingham skirt thing with like a white fluffy top and stuff, and she was all dressed up for Barbie and did her makeup and everything. It was really cute, and like nobody else in the theater was dressed up.
I went on Saturday night and the whole movie theater was like decked out in pink. And they seemed like they did the Barbenheimer theme because they did a mushroom cloud and it was pink.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
like that's where like the Oppenheimer representation stopped because everything else was just like, I don't know, pink and other, it's just like Barbie this, Barbie that. So
Yeah.
there are people dressed up with like pink wigs and shit. So
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, our theater did not go as hard, and I wish they did, but that's okay. We still had fun, and it was a pretty good movie.
It's
I thought.
yeah. I remember Googling like Barbie. They have a really whoever's the marketing, like the head of marketing for
Mhm.
Barbie, they needs a raise
It was so good.
or a promotion because like if you Googled Barbie, like
Mhm.
the Google page would turn into pink and there'd be confetti and stuff.
Oh, wow, I didn't do
Yeah.
that. Does that still work?
I don't know.
Let me Google.
It did it on Friday, so I don't know.
Well, I guess that makes sense, yeah, because it's the premiere day. It did have glitter! It has glitter! That's cute. Okay. But yeah, they went hard on all like the promotional stuff for this movie. Like everywhere is pink. It was great. All the toys and all the promotional stuff is great. All right, so to celebrate the Barbie premiere and to actually kind of tie in, so in the movie, there's a lot of jokes about discontinued Barbies in there, and they like represented these Barbies that we're going to talk about in the movie. And I thought it was really funny because there's some that I knew like the reference to from like growing up and seeing these Barbies in stores, but there's a lot of them that I didn't know existed, and they're really funny. So first, we're going to go into some of the history of like how Barbie was created and like kind of the evolution of Barbie. And then we're going to go into the interesting retired Barbies that were in this movie. Yeah.
Right.
We'll start with the inspiration and creation. So when Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie, when her daughter Barbara was young, she would watch her play with paper dolls, and she noticed that she often portrayed the dolls as teens or adults, rather than babies or like other young children. So at the time, most children's toy dolls were representations of infants, so like baby dolls. And this is actually like, at the very beginning of the Barbie movie. There's this whole scene of like little kids, little girls playing with little baby dolls with like porcelain heads. They're kind of creepy, and they're kind of like cavemen. They look like they're like in a caveman kind of world. It's interesting.
Wait, I thought that's part of the trailer. This is in the movie?
Yeah, it's in the movie, like
So
the very
it's
first scene.
referencing 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick.
Okay.
It's a famous scene where there's like it's like prehistoric like chimpanzee apes,
Mm-hmm.
and then like this like metal I don't even know what that like obelisk thing shows up in the center,
Yep.
and then they start like freaking out. So I saw the trailer for Barbie and I thought it was like I was like, oh, that's clever that they're doing 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought it was clever, but I
It
didn't know
is.
it was in the movie.
Yeah, so the obelisk in this movie is Barbie. Like the first iteration of Barbie, that's the obelisk thing. Yeah, it's cute.
Cool.
Yeah. So Ruth realized that there could be a gap in the children's toy market, and then she suggested the idea of an adult-bodied doll to her husband, Elliot, who was the co-founder, along with Ruth, of the Mattel toy company. He was not very interested in the idea at first, and he kind of just like pushed it to the side. And like neither were there other directors of Mattel, which is really sad because you'd think that a toy company would, they'd see a gap in this market, and be like, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. But to them, it was just like, no, we're gonna stick with baby dolls.
Well, it might be because the baby dolls are still selling,
They are, yeah.
and
At
there
that
might
point,
not
they
be
were.
enough money to start a whole new project, and who's going to source them, and who's going to
Fair.
market this. So, like, it's
That's fair.
understandable why they wouldn't.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That's fair. All right, so during a trip to Europe in 1956 with her children Barbara and Kenneth, Ruth came across a German toy doll called Built Lily. Built Lily was very new to the toy market as well, being only released in August the previous year in 1955. The Lily doll was based on a popular character appearing in the satirical comic strip drawn by Reinhard Bruthten for the newspaper called Bild, Bild. Although it was initially sold to adults, it became popular with children who enjoyed dressing her up in outfits that were sold separately. So the 3D human-like doll was exactly what Ruth had in mind for her new doll. So she purchased 3 of them, and she gave one to her daughter and took 2 back to Mattel. Upon her return to the US, Ruth redesigned the doll with the help of a local inventor and designer, Jack Ryan, and the doll was given a new name, Barbie, after Handler's daughter, Barbara. The doll made its debut at the American International Toy Fair in New York City on March 9th, 1959. Then March 9th is also known as Barbie's official birthday.
Build Lily.
Build Lily. Well, there's like comic strip was Build, and then her name is Lily, so Build Lily.
Man, the photo, she really does. She looks like Barbie.
She does, yeah. And I have, so if you look at, if you Google just like Barbie versus Build Lily, they're extremely similar. The original Barbie and the Build Lily.
Can you
And
ever sue them?
oh, we'll get to that.
I would.
Yeah, it's and they said like that Ruth went back and like redesigned Build Lily, but she didn't really. She just kind of shrunk the forehead a little bit and widened the eyes
Yeah,
and gave her a new style. That's
looks
it.
like her skin color's like bleached. She's
Yeah,
more pale.
yeah, yeah, she is.
Than Miss Build Lily, yeah.
So she just tweaked like a few things, just kind
Yep.
of like when you're in art school and like somebody else has a fun idea, you just kind of tweak it a little bit. You're like, it's my idea.
Yep,
Yeah,
change it 30% or whatever, and
yeah, call it yours.
looks like they made her eyebrows better though.
Oh yeah, I should notice
Yeah,
that.
her eyebrows are better.
A little more arched and fit her face a little bit better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, forehead is smaller, so she's not part of the
Part
big
of the
foreheaded, yeah, the big foreheaded club. So
oh man. But yeah. Alright, so the first Barbie doll wore a black and white zebra striped swimsuit and signature top knot ponytail. It was available as either a blonde or brunette for the time. The doll was marketed as, quote, teenage fashion model, with her clothes created by Mattel fashion designer Charlotte Johnson. The first Barbie dolls were manufactured in Japan and their clothes were hand stitched. So very, very detailed.
tedious.
Very tedious. Around 350,000 Barbie dolls were sold during the first year of production.
Is that
So
good?
I think that's pretty good. Like
Okay.
if it's a new thing on the market, especially at the time, and it might be a little bit more expensive just to have like this push it out there when it's so different.
Hmm.
I think that's a pretty good amount. It's like over 250,000 Barbies. I think that's pretty good. See, so Louis Marx and company sued Mattel in March 1961 after licensing Lily. They claimed that Mattel had, quote, infringed on Greiner and Hausser's patent for Build Lily's hip joint. So yeah, so like if so Bill Lilly had like a twistable hip joint so
Hmm.
she could move and be posed, and Mattel did the same thing, so they didn't change it. Just kind of like, here, we'll shrink her forehead and call it Barbie.
Better eyebrows, yep. Call her Barbie.
Better eyebrow Barbie. And they also claimed that Barbie was, quote, a direct takeoff and copy of Build Lily. And they weren't wrong. It was basically the same thing.
Same thing.
Yep. The company additionally claimed that Mattel quote, falsely and misleadingly represented itself as having originated the design.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mattel counterclaimed, and the case was settled out of court in 1963. And then in 1964, Mattel bought Grainer and the Hossers copyright and patent rights for the Build Lily doll for $21,600, or about $203,000 nowadays. So that's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot.
Yeah, so they're like, you can't sue us anymore from stealing your design, so here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruth Handler believed that it was important for Barbie to have an adult appearance. Some early market research showed that some parents were unhappy about the doll's chest, which had distinct breasts. That's very different from the paper dolls and the baby dolls that they've had since until Barbie. It's just a little bit of a shock to the system. So Barbie's appearance has changed many times throughout the years, and most notably in 1971 when the doll's eyes were adjusted to look forwards rather than having a sideways glance or a side eye. So the original model, if you look at it, the swimsuit one, she's kind of looking to the side instead of straight ahead like Barbies are today.
I like the side eye.
Do you? More dramatic,
Yeah, it's
sassy.
kind of like Mona Lisa. You're like, what is she looking at?
Yeah, true.
I like that.
So this is the last adjustment to Barbie that Ruth would take part in, because 3 years later, she and her husband Elliot were removed from their post at Mattel after an investigation found them guilty of issuing false and misleading financial reports.
Mm.
So in 1978, Handler and several other Mattel executives were indicted by a federal grand jury for conspiracy, mail fraud, and giving the Securities and Exchange Commission false financial statements for the company. She pleaded no contest, and she was fined $57,000, or about just over $250,000 today, and sentenced to 2,500 hours of community service.
Wait, wasn't this chick in the movie?
Yes, so her ghost is in the movie. She has a office on the 17th floor, I believe it was. Yeah.
She's like the 13th floor? Why 17?
That's a good question.
Because they don't have 13th floors.
No, that's bad luck.
So why 17?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
But yeah, she's in the movie, like her ghost is in the movie. And it's just briefly touched on. Like it's not like a huge focal point, but she does meet Barbie and like helps her through like figuring out who she wants to be or whatever. And it's cute, but I can't remember if they touched on her not being part of the company. I think they did. I think they poked fun at like her having financial legal issues. I think there's like a quote in there if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So, all right. So now we're going to get into some of the lore of Barbie that's been built up over the years. So Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. In a series of novels published by Random House in the 1960s, her parents' names are George and Margaret Roberts. They're from and live in the fictional town of Whittles, Wisconsin. So Barbie has an on and off again romantic relationship with her boyfriend Ken, full name Kenneth Sean Carson, who first appeared in 1961. A news release from Mattel in February 2004 announced that Barbie and Ken had decided to split up. In February 2006, however, they're hoping to rekindle their relationship after Ken had a makeover. Then in 2011, Mattel launched a campaign for Ken to win Barbie's affections back, and then the pair officially reunited on Valentine's Day in 2011. So at the release of the Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures in 2018, the pair are seen as just friends or next-door neighbors. So it kind of like flip-flops all the time. It's really weird.
This whole thing of him, like, Ken having a makeover and then hoping that him having a makeover will help them rekindle their relationship, that sounds like eerily like Reverse Grease.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of touched on in the movie too, like when they introduce Ken, his whole existence revolves on getting noticed by Barbie. It's really sad, and that becomes like the issue in the movie. But yeah, they harp on the fact that that Ken needs Barbie, and Barbie doesn't really need him. She just kind of is awesome by herself. So it's interesting. They poke fun at all these issues that Mattel has put in their world of Barbie throughout the years. And it's funny too. There's one point towards the very end of the movie. So their Barbie that they had as like president of their Barbie Land or whatever. She was walking down a staircase and addressing the Kens that you'll have to watch the movie and understand why she does this. But she's walking down the staircase and she says the F word, and like they block it out like with the Mattel logo. So like they like bleep it out
Yeah.
and like cover her face with the Mattel logo. It's really funny. Yeah, there's some little like tongue-in-cheek things in it that are really funny. There's also a lot of like adult humor in it.
So it's not a kids movie.
It's like I think it's PG-13, so it's like it's not super obvious, but it's like if you're older than like 16, you know what it means most likely.
So it's for adults.
I think it's like both. I think it was marketed and it's like for both. It can be either for younger kids or like not like super young, probably like tweens and older.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of like a Disney movie where they throw in like like those
That's not even
innuendos.
how Disney movies are anymore.
Yeah,
You're talking like early 2000s Disney movies
yeah.
and like 90s. That's not even how Disney is anymore.
No, it's not. But you know what I mean, though, right? Like
Yeah,
just
I know what you
toss in
mean with
stuff. Yeah,
Disney movie, like because you can still watch like I will watch Chicken Little. I love
yeah.
that movie. Chicken Little
Okay.
has so many innuendos and whatever for like adults.
Okay, I haven't watched that one in forever, but I
I
don't doubt
like
it.
and the Incredibles and like all the yeah
Yeah, The
yeah. So
Incredibles have a lot. So Mattel has created a range of companions and relatives for Barbie. She has 3 younger sisters, Skipper, Stacy, and Chelsea, renamed Kelly, or sorry, she was Kelly until 2011, then renamed to Chelsea.
I think I had Kelly.
I remember Kelly, yeah. That's the one we grew up with for the most
I
part was
didn't play
Kelly.
with Barbies. I don't like dolls. I
Yeah,
don't like Barbie. I don't
but you
like
had Kelly?
pink. I like Batman and I like architecture and
Yeah.
I like animals and the outdoors and
Uh-huh.
sticks and rocks in the water.
60 Rocks.
And that's what I and that's what I like. I've never liked Barbie.
That's okay.
You know, why'd they rename her sister?
Huh?
Why'd they rename her poor sister Kelly? I remember having Kelly.
That's a good question. So another one of the siblings that she supposedly had was Kelly's twin brother Todd, but they just kind of took him away.
He's dead?
Or was it Stacy? Wait, for some reason I thought Kelly and Todd were twins, but in
They're-
this article it says Stacy and Todd were twins. I don't know. Someone had a twin brother that they just kind of like tossed out. They're like, you don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they Kenny did him. Okay.
And apparently Barbie used to have a younger sister or a baby sister called Chrissy, and then Francie was a cousin. And then Barbie's friends include Teresa, Midge, Christy, and Steven, who is Christy's boyfriend. So we'll get to Midge. Midge is kind of a tragic story, and it's poked fun of in the movie as well.
Aw, bad name.
I think it's kind of a fun name to say, though.
Midge. Smidge, Midge.
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 Smidgen of Midgen. Yeah, see, it's like, it's not a good name.
I think it's
None
fun
of
to
these
say.
names are good names. Skipper?
Skipper's fun to say, too.
You named your child, like, that's his dog name. Skipper
Yeah, I
is
wouldn't name
dog.
my kid that, but I think it's a fun
I
name
would
to
name my
say.
dog that. All of these names are bad.
Stacy?
I was thinking of the song Stacy's Mom.
Yeah.
I think of that one.
Okay.
Chelsea. I don't know. I think of Chelsea Handler.
I think I had Teresa as like a Barbie doll. I think I had her.
I gotta look up these people.
Alright, so Barbie was also apparently friendly with Blaine, an Australian surfer, during her split with Ken in 2004. So apparently Barbie was like flirting with Blaine for a bit.
Okay. So how long was she with Ken?
For so long, on and off.
Like
It's hard to
40
tell.
years?
Yeah, for a long time.
That's longer than most marriages. Like, yeah, you can go. You can go have fun. Take a break. Yeah, make him get that makeover. You're bored of him. You've been with him for like 4 decades.
Yeah, what I think was odd too is it's like I understand why Ruth did this maybe, but it's weird to me that Barbie and Ken are supposedly dating and those are the names of her children.
Maybe she wanted her kids to date. We don't know
That's
what she
weird.
thought. Maybe she wanted them to get married. We don't know.
That's weird. Okay, moving on.
Hopefully not, because it's legal.
Hopefully not. That's
And sick and wrong.
yeah. Okay. Um So Barbie was one of the first toys to have a marketing strategy based extensively on television advertising, which was then copied widely by other toys. So like when you see advertisements on TV for different toys and stuff, that was pretty much started by a Barbie.
Okay.
In 2006, it was estimated that over 1 billion Barbie dolls had been sold worldwide in over 150 countries. And Mattel even claimed that approximately 3 Barbie dolls are sold every second, which is insane, but I believe it.
Still?
Still, yeah. Especially with that movie coming out and they did all those custom dolls. Oh, yeah. I
okay.
bet that's true. So, since the mid to late 1980s, Barbie branded products, including not only iconic dolls with their clothes and accessories, but also a large range of branded goods such as books, apparel, cosmetics, video games, and like movies and TV shows. Barbie is well known for her appearance as a virtual actress in a series of computer animated feature films, starting with Barbie and the Nutcracker in 2001, which my sister and I used to love these movies, and I remember going to Walmart and just looking for the new Barbie movies. We were so excited. We had almost every single one.
My
It was
goodness.
great.
There's a lot of them.
There's some that I don't recognize, like the newer ones we didn't get because like they kind of got really cheesy towards the end of them. The original ones like Barbie and the Nutcracker and Rapunzel and Princess and the Pauper, that was my favorite one. Those ones are really good. The newer ones are kind of like, yeah, and probably got old enough too where they didn't like feel the same, but they kind of got cheesier as they went on.
You like outgrew it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one of these. I don't think I'm gonna watch any of these.
Watch Princess and the Pauper. That one's cute. That one was fun. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the retired Barbies, or the strange Barbies. Alright, so the first one we're gonna talk about is Tanner the Pooping Dog, who was in the movie.
I swear I've seen this somewhere.
Yes, I remember this being out in stores when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I wanted this one, but I never got it, which is okay.
Did I have it?
Did you have this
or
one?
Maybe one of my cousins had it, or like a friend, but I swear I remember it, and there was never, like, they lost, or like I lost, like, the poop.
Yeah, it's tiny little tic-tac looking poops. Yeah, and the thing is, so with this dog, these little tic-tac looking brown poos, they have little magnets inside, and you feed them to Tanner, the dog, as treats, and then he poops them out, and you scoop it up.
So you feed him the poop, and then he
he poops it out.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So basically, this one got recalled actually, and like retired because so the magnet in the actual like pooper scooper grabber thing, apparently that fell out a few times, and like so people had them returned or whatever. And the main thing that they recalled this toy for was if like a child were to swallow one of the
I'm sure kids were swallowing these left and right.
Yeah, they're so small, and like they could like harm, they could cause blockage, or if they swallowed two of them, they can maybe pinch like your intestine, like if like pinch them together.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong, so they recalled this one. So there is no like actual cases of kids like actually swallowing and pinching their intestines together with these magnets, which is good. But yeah, so that's why this one got retired.
But like, why did they make it?
Good question. I suppose like for aspiring dog walkers, get used to the picking up the.
It's not real. Like you don't, and then like this is like a horrible design. So like their thing is to feed them treats, and then they poop out the treat, and then it looks like
a turd.
So it's like if you're aspiring dog walker, you're gonna feed the dog poop as a treat, like
treats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they ran out of ideas that year.
Well,
down to the list of ideas, they're like, I don't have anything else. Tanner the pooping dog.
Yeah.
So is it like trying to like teach kids responsibility about owning a dog?
Probably. That's probably what they were going for, and then yeah.
Okay, because I remember because I wanted a dog, and I remember getting like an animatronic, like those robot dogs, and it like it like barks and it like wags its tail, and you have to like give it fake water and fake food, otherwise it will like cry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pee or anything, but it's just like
it's kind of teaching you something about owning a dog.
Yeah. So then I got a real dog, and it was nothing like that.
You gotta pick up those bodily functions.
Yep.
Was this like before Alu or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were really little.
Yep. So
okay.
Like second grade, first grade, one of those two.
Okay. Alrighty. So next one we got is Video Girl Barbie. So this was released in 2010, and I do remember this one coming out as well. And I don't think I wanted this one just because there's like a big video screen on the back of her.
For what?
So apparently this was kind of like Mattel's, they wanted to incorporate technology into their dolls. This is how they decided to do it. Basically, there is a little camera in Barbie's necklace.
What in the what?
Yeah, so their idea was to have kids make little short films and like be able to watch it back on this tiny little screen on the back of her. This is also the movie. She's kind of at the very end to poke fun at it, but yeah, this was a thing to make just like record little fun videos with your friends.
That's
Um,
freaky.
it is, and that's why it got discontinued
Yeah.
because there was so this toy, like a lot of parents got concerned, which obviously it's a camera that kids have control of, and it's I
Yeah.
don't think it
It's
was ever connected.
inconspicuous.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, which makes it even scarier.
And
Um,
yeah,
and I don't think it connected to the internet, which would have made it worse. But it was just kind of like a self-contained thing. But yeah, there's possibility of things going wrong with it, which is why the FBI issued an alert regarding the Barbie video girl out of concern that the doll would be used to record children without their consent.
right.
And then Mattel tried to clear up like this issue and put out a statement that the FBI confirmed that there were no incidents of the doll being used as anything other than is intended, but the damage was already done. Like people already were
Right.
like freaking out about it. And so the warning was like already causing parents to be like freaked out a little bit. And then they're like thinking like, oh, pedophiles are going to use this.
Right. I mean, I bet they did.
Yeah, I don't know. They can't prove if they did or didn't. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then because all of this, they're just like, okay, pull it, and they stopped selling it. I don't
Good.
know what year, but yeah, they stopped it. So now we get to Alan. I love Alan. He is one of my favorite characters in the movie. So the Alan doll was launched into the Barbieverse as Ken's best friend in 1964. And what was his selling point? All of Ken's clothes could fit him.
But
That
can't
was
all
his.
Barbie's clothes fit Barbie?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Ken's, like, this is Alan's selling point, was that Ken and Alan can share clothes. Yeah. Yep, and apparently Alan was dating Midge, which we'll get to in a little bit,
Okay.
who's Barbie's one of her best friends.
Okay.
So they could go on double dates with Barbie and Ken. So Ken and Alan can share clothes and they can go on a double date.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like
So,
normal life. Yeah.
like, young guys.
I don't know if men share clothes, but yeah. Maybe
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
sure some do.
Yeah. So sadly, the Alan doll was discontinued in 1966, most likely because he wasn't as popular as Ken. And then they poke fun a lot at this in the movie at poor Alan.
Oh, he's like has burgundy hair, like, or whatever, like
Yeah,
auburn
kind of like a
hair.
reddish. Yeah,
He's a redhead.
yeah, he is. I love
Oh.
Alan. In the early 90s, however, Alan was resurrected and repackaged as Alan, Midge's new husband. So eventually, Alan would become the father of Midge's kids in an early 2000s Happy Family collection, along with their 3-year-old child Ryan. However, the uproar over the highly controversial pregnant Midge doll caused the family
What?
line to be discontinued, and we'll get to that. We'll get to the pregnant Midge.
How is that like a pregnant doll controversial?
We'll get into it.
Pregnant Midge? Yeah, what the heck? Okay.
Midge. So since then, Alan hasn't really reappeared in the Barbieverse, and then while Midge had to come back in 2013, Alan was ever sold again as in 2014 as a part of the 50th anniversary double date set with Midge. So he's kind of always with Midge.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a
Package deal. Yeah.
package deal. There you go. All right, next one. Sugar Daddy Ken.
Sugar's daddy? What?
Yep. So for Barbie's 50th anniversary, Mattel released a series of limited edition dolls to celebrate, including a silver fox named Palm Springs Sugar Daddy Ken.
Is that what its actual title is? Sugar Daddy Ken? Or is
So
it just
I can't
Palm
find-
Springs Ken?
I think it's Palm Springs Ken.
Okay, I was
But
gonna be like,
it's also
I was like,
called, but it's also called Sugar's Daddy. So
they knew what they were doing. Okay.
yes, they very much knew.
Okay.
So this doll was like the whole collection, I think, for the 50th anniversary was marketed towards more like adults, not so much like kids. So Ken's dog, a West Highland Terrier, is named Sugar. So the implication is that Ken is Sugar's daddy. Yeah. So they had to know what they were doing. Yeah. He sports a green damask print blazer, a pink button-up shirt, white business casual pleated pants, and backswept silver locks. So, yes, he's very much Palm Springs.
I like him. He's probably my favorite Ken.
He's very put together. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Got a little dog.
He's a cute, very, very cute little dog. So, Sugar Daddy Ken stirred up enough controversy to get Mattel to release a statement saying, he's Sugar's daddy, as a reference to the dog. A Mattel spokeswoman told the New York Post in 2009, and the doll was eventually discontinued.
No.
Yeah, I like him. He's funny. He's
He's my
great.
favorite. Yeah.
He's great. All right, next one. Earring Magic Ken.
90s?
Yes, 90s.
Mm.
Yep. So in the 1990s, Mattel got wind that girls didn't think Ken was cool enough, so they wanted to give him a rebrand, and they did their research at raves in the early 90s.
Why?
That's a very good question. I don't know what teenage girls are doing at raves, but
I don't think people that go to raves play with Barbie dolls.
fair. Yeah, I didn't really think
At
about
all.
that either.
That's like, oh my gosh, Mattel is just like, what? He's like, howdy do there, young whippersnappers. What is yeah.
What
What
can
are
I
my
do?
fellow peers doing? My fellow young people. Going to a rave we are? Or a rave, that's what I call it.
Rave? Heck yeah. So, thus the 1993 Ken doll sported blonde highlights, a lavender mesh shirt, a necklace with a circular charm, and an earring in his left ear. And it seemed inevitable that the doll was dubbed Gay Ken. Which, nothing wrong with that at all, but it's just interesting that they designed this doll and they're like, he's straight. He's
Doesn't
Barbie's
everybody
boyfriend.
look at Ken though and think that he's gay? Like, why is this
Yes.
one dubbed Gay Ken?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He looks like half. Okay, honestly, if you look at this photo, he looks like half of the TikToker men that I see. The TikTok
The hair.
influencers that I see running around.
Yeah.
They all wear like this dangly, like stupid earring that's like a cruise, like a sword or like a dagger.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
then they wear their stupid Bass Pro Shop hats. I don't know why Bass Pro Shop hat. Like, I don't know why. I don't think any of them fish.
Probably not. No,
But
it's kind of like what was that? What's the trucker hat from the 90s?
early 2000s would be like Ed Hardy or something.
Von Dutch or something?
Yeah, Von Dutch.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Those weird
it's Von
hats that
Dutch.
come back.
Right. But it's like Von Dutch isn't like, is Von Dutch anything?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, Bass Pro Shop, it's like, I don't know, it's weird.
It's a big thing.
But it's like, do you fish?
Yeah,
I think it's like equivalent to just like the people walking around with like New York Yankee hats.
And not knowing anything about them.
Yeah, or like hearing, you're just like, I like the hat.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's fine, but
yeah.
Maybe that's not like. Okay, let's maybe make the argument even more. Like, the New York Yankees logo is iconic. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows it from around the world. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of it's like equivalent to like Coca-Cola. Like, that's how like you know it. Mm-hmm. The Bass Pro Shop logo.
I guess I know what it is, but I'm also from the Midwest, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's iconic. I don't think it's like memorable. I don't think most probably I'd say maybe half of the people, like maybe 5 out of 10 people would know what it is. Maybe.
Okay.
So yeah, don't wear it if you don't.
Wow.
That's my 2 cents. It annoys me. Yeah.
Okay.
I take back my whole Yankee cap. Then you can do what you want. It's an iconic logo. Who cares? But the Bass Pro Shop thing, that's where, the buck stops there. I'm like, yeah, so.
Okay. You're very against Bass Pro Shop logo.
No, I'm very against the whole weird TikToker, like, weird streetwear scene influencer men with the stupid one dangly earring and then, like, the bleached hair or whatever stupid 90s haircut they're into right now. I don't want to see it.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
I choose not to look at it either, but it gets in my freaking feeds. It's like the Kardashians. It's just like they are like
they pop up everywhere.
If I could get a restraining order, like visually against the Kardashians, I would.
Let me look at you.
I would.
Okay. All right, so Earring Magic Ken is still the most bought Ken doll in history because gay men went absolutely wild for him because it represents them. I guess their style.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Yep. So Donna Gibbs, director of media relations at Mattel at the time, emphasized that Ken's look was not meant to be controversial. He was just, quote, contemporary, and thus a reflection of changing fashion trends. Men are wearing earrings today. It's become a mainstream phenomenon, she said in 1993. So Ken should have an earring. Why not? Just 6 months after Earring Earring Magic Ken's release, however, he was sadly discontinued, so he was only there for 6 months.
I like that they freak out about that he has an earring.
I know. And they actually came with 2 earrings for like you to actually wear yourself. So just like 2 little Barbie dangly earrings.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
I like his look.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like the mesh shirt.
Looks like Right Said Fred or whatever his name is. That does
I
the
don't know
I'm
who
Too
that is.
Sexy song.
Okay. Okay.
I like it. He's got like Billy Idol hair too. I like it.
All right, now we're gonna go up to Growing Up Skipper. All right, so this one, the last 2 here. So this is one of Barbie's younger sisters, Skipper. Okay, so the 1970s, Mattel co-founder Ruth Handler ended up in some hot water for not keeping her finances above, board and falsifying financial documents. Yeah.
She sits on a throne of lies.
Yes, she does. She's passed now, so
She sat on a throne.
She sat. Yep.
So who played her dead ghost?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
I hope it's not one of those like creepy AI like CGI.
No, it didn't look like her. It was
thing.
It was just like an older lady.
And they've done. I don't know where else they've done it.
Let's see who. Rhea Perlman.
Oh, she's Danny DeVito's wife.
Oh, okay.
So she played. Okay.
She played Ruth. Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty. So because Ruth was no longer with Mattel, dolls had to be designed without her input, and thus Growing Up Skipper was born. So advertised as the doll who grows from a cute little girl to tall and curvy teenager.
What?
It's creepy. Barbie's kid sister Skipper had a doll that was intended to educate little girls about their changing bodies.
Okay.
With a simple rotation of her arm, Skipper would have a growth spurt and stretch an inch taller, while her rubbery chest would also grow boobs. It's like you'd spin her arm backwards, and then she would grow
her
taller.
Up with her clock, and she just goes into puberty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely. I mean, that's what happens in real life. So
you just wind your arm up.
Yep. And you go into puberty, and your rubber chest grows into boobs. Yeah. See, it's like nice thought, but poor execution. You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, like because I mean, like we get those stupid books, right? The puberty books.
The very weirdly put and stated ones, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you get those. Yeah. I guess they're just trying to make money by selling a doll that can do it, but
yeah, it's like we get books, they got creepy Skipper dolls.
And I guess I would rather take the awkward book than a creepy doll.
Yeah. Skipper.
I thought that was the boy's name.
No, Todd was the boy's name.
Okay.
All right.
I can't wait to see what they did with Growing Up Todd.
Growing Up Todd. Oh, I don't. Okay, moving on to Midge. Okay, so Midge, I feel bad for Midge in the movie. They just kind of like they show her at the very beginning, and they just kind of go, "Oh, that's Midge." Moving on. Just kind of like scan right past her.
Okay.
So Midge is probably the Barbie doll with the saddest history. Midge was initially released in 1963 as Barbie's best friend. And although they were the same size so the two could share clothes, Midge was considerably less glamorous than Barbie. Mattel was so here we go. Mattel was worried that young girls wouldn't be able to identify with Barbie, which was, quote, a dream girl. But they might be able to identify with Midge, an ordinary girl. So she had freckles, didn't wear a lot of makeup, and her wardrobe was on the tamer side. So this version of Midge was eventually discontinued in 1967.
So wait, they just purposely... What?
They purposely made her less attractive. So that way you wouldn't feel so bad when you played with Barbies. Yeah, poor Midge. Yep. So... Like Alan, Midge enjoyed a couple of resurrections in the 80s and 90s, but her time in the spotlight came to an abrupt halt in 2002 when a pregnant Midge, who we see in the Barbie movie, was sold. Her belly was a magnet that kids could remove, and when they did, they find a small removable baby figurine inside. The pregnant Midge doll received considerable backlash from concerned parents who believed that the doll promoted teenage pregnancy. They also believed... Yeah.
Well, how old did they make Midge? How old is Midge?
She's an adult. Like,
Okay, did they
she's married to Alan.
okay, well, I don't understand how that promotes teenage pregnancy. I don't
Yeah,
understand how, like, a child removing a freaky magnet, like,
it's a
it
magnet.
looks like a tumor. Like,
Yep.
not saying that, like, babies are tumors, or, like, pregnant women have not saying that at all. I'm saying that this Barbie, like, magnet, like, baby bump looks like a freaking tumor.
Yeah, it's creepy. I remember a
It's
few years
creepy.
ago when I like came across some of these articles talking about like the weirdest Barbies.
Mhm.
This was in there, and like
It's top
just
number 1.
it's like weird. It just like the thought of, I don't know, how they executed it was just weird.
Why can't they just make her, like, pregnant forever? Like, why does there have to be, like, a weird removable, like, stomach edition with, like, a baby, like,
I don't
whatever.
know. But yeah,
I
so
I feel just one more thing. I feel like because they're all scared that this is, like, gonna promote teenage pregnancy,
uh-huh.
I feel like if I saw this as a child, I'd be like, "I'm never having kids.
Like,
I'm
this
never
is what
wanting
happened.
to have another kid. I never wanna see a baby again." I'd be so terrified, like, traumatized.
Yeah,
This is
just a
good.
little bit.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
should be happy about it, yeah.
So it's funny too that they're like, thinking this promoted teen pregnancy, even though Alan and their 3-year-old child Ryan were literally like the box next door. They're like, Midge's husband,
And her son
Alan.
Ryan.
Like, it's very obvious that they were married. And there's also grandparents that came with this. Like, they were in a separate set. There's like a grandma and a grandpa.
That's cute, there's a whole
It was a
family,
full set,
okay.
yeah. Yep.
What the heck? Okay. Satanic, it's like the satanic panic. This is like satanic panic of, like, 2
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't get pregnant. That's it.
Okay.
The last little piece of this was for a research for a book written by M.G. Lord. Her book was Forever Barbie. She found that kids would use Midge's pregnancy bump to store erasers and coins. And Walmart. So, I mean, what else do you do with a magnetized baby bump? Just fill it with erasers and coins. Walmart recalled the pregnant Midge dolls in 2002. So, like, it didn't last very long, but left a scar a lot of people's minds. But yeah, you can Google you can Google the boxes and stuff, and you can look at the diagrams of them removing the belly. And I think with this set, the Barbie in this set was like a doctor, like a delivery nurse or something.
Okay.
So that was her tie-in with Midge's baby. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Does Barbie ever have kids? Like, did they ever do that?
I don't think so. Let me look that up. I don't think she's ever had kids. I think she just takes care of her sisters.
Doesn't she have, like, a brother or something?
She
Or
did.
her
That's
sisters
Todd.
are there? She did with Todd? What?
Todd that got tossed out of the Barbie lore like a
Oh,
long time ago.
yeah, he got Kennedy. Yeah.
Oh no.
What? That's what they did with their sister.
Oh yeah.
Rose Kennedy. Is her name Rose? What's her name? See, I don't even know.
I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta look it up. Who was it? Rosemary. So
Yeah. There you go.
Rosemary was the sister of JFK and RFK,
Mhm.
and their father, unknowing to their mother, got their daughter, who was they don't know. They didn't know back then what she had. Like I
Mhm.
still don't. I don't know enough about it to know. But he got her lobotomized at like 23 years old,
It's
and then
terrifying.
it like went completely wrong. Then she had like the mind of basically a 5-year-old child, and
Mhm.
they basically just kind of like bloop, shoved her away.
Doesn't she just have like depression and stuff? Like she wasn't even
I
that
think
like.
she was like manic depressive or
Okay.
something. She had like some learning disabilities. I don't know. I just don't personally for me, I just don't think that she ever fit in the father, Joe Kennedy's like picked like cookie cutter
Yeah.
vision of his family. And
Yeah.
he was yeah.
He just wanted a
He was
perfect
trying
family.
to I'm sure was trying to help her and I just feel bad for their mom. Like she didn't know.
Didn't she have like several lobotomies?
I just know about the one. I don't know
Okay.
about she had several.
Okay. Well, I did look up to see if Barbie ever had kids, and apparently Ruth didn't want Barbie to like.
Grow old or become an adult?
No, she didn't want to give the message to young girls that like you're supposed to have kids. Like she wanted to be open. Like if you wanted kids, cool. That's why like Midge has kids, but like she never wanted Barbie, the main character, to have kids because she didn't want girls to be like you have to have kids or be a mom. She wanted it to be like open to what you wanted to do. So that's why Barbie's never had kids.
That's why Midge has them.
Yes, just Midge.
Which is
Poor
been
Midge.
chucked with the
Yeah,
with
poor
the
Midge.
responsibility of having the future generations of the world. Yeah.
Mhm. But
Barbie
yeah,
gets a car instead.
yeah, she has a car, and then she has a boat, and she has like
The Barbie plane.
Barbie plane. She has a rocket ship in the movie. Pretty great. Yeah.
And Mitch has a baby.
Midge has a pregnant baby bump. Oh man, but yeah, I think this movie was pretty dang good. It was kind of a long movie. I think it was like 2 hours. But yeah, it was a good movie. You should go see it.
Yeah, I'll probably stream it.
And that sounds good.
I'll probably wait for it to stream.
That's
Honestly.
So some resources I used for this podcast were Wikipedia, of course, mashable.com/film.com, time.com, and independent.co.uk.
I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite? Or which one like scarred you the most?
I like the Sugar Daddy Ken
Like,
and then like the 90s Ken with the earring.
yeah,
Sugar
those are
Daddy
pretty.
Ken was my favorite.
I like him too. I think Alan's my favorite still.
Alan.
You forgot.
No, I know who he is. He's the redhead with the
Yeah.
weird striped beach shirt for some reason who's married to Midge.
Yep.
And like they're shucked with all like the real like human responsibilities and
Yep.
like character like traits and whatnot, and then Barbie and Ken get to do whatever. Okay.
Yep. All right, Wanderers. Thank you so much for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to email us at fwplisteners@gmail.com.
And as always, new episodes of the FWP are released from wherever you get your podcast from, including this place that you're listening to right now. And if you'd like to help us out, we would really appreciate it if you would consider leaving us a 5-star review. It helps our podcast grow and helps get into the algorithms of other people to discover our podcast.
Yeah. All right, Wanderers. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time. So Barbie was one of the first toys to have a marketing strategy. My goodness. Strategy.
Yeah.
Did I say that right or did I say that wrong? I can't tell.
What did you say? Strategy? Strategy?
My brain is like, oh no.
Strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah, I can't even say the word right. So you're
Say.
on your own.
Okay.